Good morning, everyone. How to rise as a queen, and what is that process like? And what things are you going to experience when you do that? And what needs to be done to be able to do that? To be able to become the queen, to finally claim your crown. There's a few things. One, to clear your energies, to be able to receive and magnetize abundance on every level, you have to get rid of your trauma. You have to heal. You've got to bring your trauma up. You have to heal it. You have to balance it out. Some of that you will integrate into you. Some of the trauma you will actually release and it will leave you. You have to do that journey. You cannot magnetize abundance on every level. You cannot take a quantum leap, a massive quantum leap, if you're still attached to all of your stories. If you're not willing to do the work to let go of all your shame, your guilt, your frustration, your not enoughness. You've got to go so deep within yourself and to get the courage to look at yourself openly and honestly. The shiz needs to go. You can't magnetize abundance on every level if you're still carrying your trauma. Now, believe me, I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I've walked this path. I still do walk this path. We continually spiral down into ourselves, and it's like a beautiful self-exploration of what makes you up and where's your shadow aspects of, what keeps you safe, what keeps you in fear mode to protect you. When you're coming from fear mode and you're still carrying trauma, there's beliefs attached to that that's going to self-sabotage you. These beliefs that are actually here to protect you because you're coming from a fear space, right, which has been created from your trauma, they are full of dense energies. You cannot magnetize abundance on every level. You cannot draw to you your deepest desires when you're carrying this thick, dense energy. So one, go deep within. Get the courage to look at all your shiz. Look at your trauma. Look at your stories. You know what they are, but you've got to be willing to let it go. And this is truth. Every time I let go of something, this is true for all of us. I'm not that unique. Every time you are willing to let go of something, and even as much as you love it, I mean, we carry so many self-serving beliefs that keep us stuck, which we're so attached to, and we unconditionally love them because they're in your comfort zone. They keep you safe, right? But the more you're willing to let go of these, then you are going to leap and leap and leap. But you have to let go. And believe me, I am the queen. What's the queen? This is my shadow of not letting go. I always visualize myself at the old me of, fingernails down the hallway. No, I'm not letting go. That shit's going to keep you stuck. Now, how to remove all of that? Work with someone like me. You have to go and ask for help. How can you approach your own shadow? How can you approach all your own shiz when you are so attached to it? You can't, and you can't bypass that. You can't keep going and getting, doing other things in your life to make you feel good, whether that is having a few glasses of wine every night, or whether that is I'm being very careful in how I choose my words because I want to make sure that I'm speaking clearly. So, if you're bypassing your pain and you're looking at ways to make yourself feel better, but you're not dealing with your trauma, you're never going to magnetize abundance on every level. You're not. The trauma has to be brought up. It has to be balanced out. It has to be transformed, and some of it needs to be let go of. And you can do this, with ease and grace and joy. But it has to come from your commitment. It has to come, you have to, summon up huge amounts of courage to look at your own shit and own it. It's far easier to do it with a mentor. It's far easier to do it and quicker and more powerful, in my opinion, to do it with someone who's already done this journey. Now, when you do this, if your mentor is not triggering you and your mentor is not holding you accountable, well, then you're just paying for a very expensive friend, right? It is your coaches or your teachers or your, your healer's job to bring these things into your awareness. So if you're not willing to let go of your shit, don't invest. Don't waste the money, because then you're just blocking it and putting more resistance up, and you actually end up paying for a very expensive friend. But if you're really ready, and you can look at yourself, you're ready to look at yourself. You don't even have to understand what you need to look at yet, because that is your coach or your teacher's job. Okay? And for me, for example, I will see all this stuff in your dreams, and I use the dream therapy. It's my favorite tool, of course. So I will bring these up into your awareness, and we discuss those, and we put in, strategies to really finally let them go so you can be free. You have to let go of all your anger, your resentment, your shame, your guilt, all those lower vibrations. It has to go so you can welcome in great abundance on every level, so you can start living a soul-guided life. If you can't back yourself and you can't unconditionally love yourself and you can't get to that point, right, you can't. You just can't welcome in all of the more positivity into your life. It's got to go, so you create space to bring it in. And I see this, there's some people that I do work with, and, probably about, I reckon, maybe 8%, 5 to 8% of people who just aren't ready to do that yet, and they'll fall away. But if you surrender to yourself and you surrender to the guidance of your mentor, and you take this courage and you're willing to let go, your life will dramatically change, and you will live with feelings of deep fulfillment, contentment, and joy, and start to be able to create from that space. If you don't let go of your trauma, you are going to create more of that. Because you've still got that energy in you, and the energy that's in you is what you attract. I hope that makes sense. It makes perfect sense. So if you are really ready to be able to let go, okay, you don't even know how, you don't even have to know the how yet. That's your mentor's job. That's your teacher's job, is to guide you through that process. And if your mentor and teacher is not triggering you and holding you accountable, well then, you're wasting your money. It is an uncomfortable experience. But it is an experience that may be uncomfortable, but it can be done with ease and grace and joy. Okay. So here is to up leveling and letting go of all the shiz. Check out my Quick Start Divine Feminine Reset program if you're truly ready for this and this resonates with you. It would be an honor to work with you. So, you can book in for a free Soul Queen chat with me, and let's see if we're Soul Queen mates, and see if the program's right for you. Lots of love. Bye.